Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Learn with Nisha ji. We are studying class 10 science and here we are on chapter number 6, that is control and coordination. So if you have not subscribed the channel yet, you can subscribe the channel Learn with Nisha ji and stay updated and improve your score in the exams, right? So the first topic is animals nervous system, right? So animal nervous system, see, in human beings we have neurons. This is the main controlling part, okay? So this is the structure of a neuron. You can see this is the cell body, nucleus, dendrite, axon, nerve endings, right? ये structure कई बार एग्जाम में बनाने के लिए आता है, so you must know this. And neuromuscular junction, you can see this is axon, okay? This is neuromuscular junction, right? So this is muscle fiber, capillaries, right? तो इसको थोड़ा अगर हम zoom करेंगे, so you can see this kind of a junction is formed. This is mitochondria, right? So let's see what happens in reflex actions. ठीक है? Reflex action में क्या होगा? देखो आप एक example लो. This is hand, okay? So this is receptor. Receptors, heat or pain, anything on the skin, you can feel it, okay? So this is effector, muscle in the arm, right? So what happens? This is a sensory neuron and this is a motor neuron, right? So this is going as a signal to the spinal cord, CNS. It gives a message to the brain further, right? But reflex action में क्या होगा? यहीं से ही आपको response मिल रहा है. This is a relay neuron and motor neuron के through it will transfer to the effector, that is the muscle in the arm. This hand will be removed from here. ठीक है? तो ये बहुत ही prompt और fast action होगा. Next is human brain structure. You can see, right? This is the brain structure. This is cerebrum, cranium or skull, right? Midbrain, spinal cord, hypothalamus, here, pituitary gland, hindbrain में क्या क्या है? Pons, medulla, cerebellum. This is forebrain, ठीक है? तो तीन parts है, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain, और उसके parts आप देख सकते हो, right? So one more topic we study here is how are these tissues protected? कैसे protect होते हैं? ये हम detail में पढ़ सकते हैं. Another topic is how does the nervous tissue cause action, right? So here comes the question set. Let's solve one by one. First is what is the difference between a reflex action and walking? See, आपके पास दो चीजें हैं. एक तो आप वॉक कर रहे हो, वॉकिंग एक्शन को हमें इससे डिफरेंशिएट करना है किससे? रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन से, ठीक है? तो पहले रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन देखते हैं. सी रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन जो होता है, इट इज ऑटोमेटिक एंड इनवॉलेंटरी रिस्पॉन्स टू अ स्टिमुलस, ठीक है? ऑटोमेटिक एंड इनवॉलेंटरी रिस्पॉन्स टू अ स्टिमुलस, ठीक है? इसे कौन कंट्रोल करता है? इट इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय स्पाइनल कॉर्ड, ठीक है? और ब्रेन स्टेम. इट डज नॉट रिक्वायर कॉन्शियस थॉट, राइट? जैसे इसका एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल है. सपोज आप एक्सीडेंटली एकदम एक हॉट ऑब्जेक्ट को टच करते हो, ठीक है, एंड यू पुल योर हैंड बैकवर्ड्स. तो दिस इज अ वेरी गुड एग्जांपल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन, ठीक है? तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आपने कॉन्शियसली सोचा कि मुझे हैंड रिमूव करना चाहिए था. नो, इट इज एन इनवॉलेंटरी ऑटोमेटिक रिस्पॉन्स स्टिमुलस को, ठीक है? स्टिमुलस क्या है? हॉट ऑब्जेक्ट इज स्टिमुलस इन दिस केस, राइट? इसी तरह वॉकिंग को देखेंगे आप. इफ यू आर वॉकिंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर, तो ये एक वॉलेंटरी एंड कोऑर्डिनेटेड मूवमेंट है, राइट? इट इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय मोटर कॉर्टेक्स एंड सेरेबेलम इन द ब्रेन. इसमें आपका एक कॉन्शियस एफर्ट और प्लानिंग लगती है, राइट? कि किस डायरेक्शन में मूव करना है, कहाँ मूव करना है, किस स्पीड पे मूव करना है, एवरीथिंग, राइट? So this is the difference between the two. Now second question is what happens at the synapse between two neurons? तो साइनैप्स क्या होता है? साइनैप्स इज द जंक्शन बिटवीन द टू न्यूरॉन्स, राइट? तो व्हेन एन इलेक्ट्रिकल इम्पल्स रीचेस द एंड ऑफ द एक्सन ऑफ द फर्स्ट न्यूरॉन, ठीक है, तो क्या होगा? न्यूरोट्रांसमिटर्स आर रिलीज्ड फ्रॉम सिनेप्टिक वेसिकल्स इनटू द सिनेप्टिक क्लेफ्ट. These chemicals bind to receptors on the dendrites of the second neuron, ठीक है? This triggers an electric impulse in the second neuron, ठीक है? So this process ensures one-way transmission of nerve impulses, right? तो basically ये junction होता है और electrical impulse को मीन्स वन न्यूरॉन टू अदर पास करने में हेल्प करता है, राइट? Third question says which part of the brain maintains posture and equilibrium of the body? So which one? Cerebellum. ठीक है, cerebellum वो part होता है which is responsible for this. Fourth question is how do we detect the smell of an agarbatti or incense stick? ठीक है. So what actually happens is the volatile aromatic molecules released by the agarbatti, they will reach the nose, okay? Now these molecules bind to the olfactory receptors in the nasal cavity, right? Receptors will send signals via the olfactory nerve to the olfactory bulb in the brain, okay? Brain will process these signals and it will help to detect and recognize the smell, right? तो ये पूरा mechanism होता है इसमें, fine? Fifth question is, what is the role of the brain in reflex action? ठीक है. See, in most reflex actions, brain is not directly involved in the immediate response, ठीक है, as they are controlled by the spinal cord for faster reaction, ठीक है. But indirectly, brain will play a role, like it will register the event after the reflex action occurs, and it may later influence the reflex for future occurrences, like learning or modifying the response, right? So this completes these 5 questions. नेक्स्ट इज कोऑर्डिनेशन इन प्लांट्स. ओके, प्लांट्स में आपने एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल देखा होगा इमीडिएट रिस्पॉन्स टू स्टिमुलस का. एक सेंसिटिव प्लांट होता है, इस तरह से इसकी पोजीशन है, आप इसे टच करते हो इट बिकम्स लाइक दिस, ठीक है. सो दिस इज एग्जांपल ऑफ अ सेंसिटिव प्लांट. देन देयर इज अ मूवमेंट ड्यू टू ग्रोथ. एज यू कैन सी, यहाँ पे एक प्लांट है, ओके, यहाँ से लाइट आ रही है, तो रिस्पॉन्स ऑफ प्लांट टू द डायरेक्शन ऑफ लाइट, आप देखो प्लांट की ग्रोथ लाइट की तरफ हो रही है, राइट? और इसी तरह प्लांट शोइंग जियोट्रोपिज्म, मतलब ये प्लांट है, इसके रूट्स देखो अर्थ की तरफ अट्रैक्ट हो रहे हैं, और जो प्लांट है इट्स गोइंग अवे फ्रॉम द अर्थ. सो दिस इज नेगेटिवली जियोट्रोपिक, दिस इज पॉजिटिवली जियोट्रोपिक, राइट? So here's another set of questions. We'll answer them one by one. First is, what are plant hormones? See, plant hormones को हम phytohormones भी बोलते हैं. These are chemical substances which are produced in plants that will regulate growth, development, and responses to external or environmental stimuli. Okay. So their examples are auxins, gibberellins, cytokinin, abscisic acid, thiamine. Right? All these are plant hormones. Second is, how is the movement of leaves of the sensitive plant different from the movement of a shoot towards light? ठीक है. See, अगर एक sensitive plant है like Mimosa pudica, so it is a rapid non-directional movement called nastic movement. Okay, it will occur due to changes in turgor pressure in response to touch. Okay, and it is not dependent on the direction of the stimulus, right? Now, movement of shoot towards light. ये कैसे होगा? It is a slow directional movement. It is called tropic movement, specifically phototropism. And it occurs due to uneven distribution of auxins in response to light. Okay. The shoot bends towards the light source. This is the effect. Correct? Next is, give an example of a plant hormone that promotes growth. So, example is auxins. They will promote cell elongation and growth, mainly in shoots and roots. Correct? Fourth question is, how do auxins promote the growth of a tendril around a support? Okay. So when a tendril comes in contact with the support, auxins accumulate on the side of the tendril away from the support. Okay. This causes the cells on that side to elongate more than those on the side touching the support. So this unequal growth results in the tendril curling around the support. This is actually what happens. Correct? Fifth question is a bit innovative. Design an experiment to demonstrate hydrotropism. Okay, so we can take 2 pots with soil, a healthy plant with roots, water source, and a plastic sheet. Okay, so we will fill both the pots with soil and plant a healthy seedling in each. Okay, in one pot we place a water source like a moist sponge at one side of the soil away from the plant roots. Cover the pot with a plastic sheet to prevent water loss and evaporation. Leave the other pot as a control with evenly moist soil. ठीक है, observe the direction of root growth after a few days. This is what. So in the experimental pot, roots will grow towards the water source. It will show hydrotropism, that is growth response towards water. और control pot में क्या होगे? Roots will grow uniformly without any specific direction, right? So this way we can show hydrotropism. Hormones in animals is a very important topic. So the diagram shows the endocrine glands in human beings. ठीक है, कौन कौन से endocrine glands होते हैं? In a male we have pineal gland, okay, pituitary gland, hypothalamus, ठीक है, thyroid gland, parathyroid glands, thymus. All these are same in females also, okay, pancreas, adrenal glands, right? Now, this is different. This testis in male and uterus and ovary in female, right? So these are the endocrine glands which release hormones in animals. So another questions that we have. First question is, how does chemical coordination take place in animals? So in animals, see chemical coordination will take place by the help of hormones. ठीक है, hormones क्या होते हैं? They are chemical messengers which are secreted by endocrine glands. Okay. So hormones travel through the bloodstream to target the organs. Okay. They regulate functions like growth, metabolism, reproduction, and stress response. So examples include जैसे insulin होता है, it will regulate blood sugar levels, or thyroxine, it controls metabolism. Okay, these are examples. Second is, why is the use of iodized salt advisable? See, iodized salt में iodine होता है, which is essential nutrient for producing thyroxine. Thyroxine एक हार्मोन होता है जो थायराइड ग्लैंड सेक्रीट करता है, ठीक है. A deficiency of iodine, it can lead to goiter. Goiter में क्या होता है? Thyroid gland is enlarged. ठीक है. Other thyroid related disorders can also occur. So अगर आप iodized salt consume करते हो, it helps to prevent these health issues, right? Third is, how does our body respond when adrenaline is secreted into the blood? See, adrenaline क्या होता है? It is fight or flight hormone. It will prepare the body to respond to stress or danger. तो ये क्या करता है? It will increase your heart rate. ठीक है? Why? It will ensure faster blood circulation. Correct? It will dilate the airways so that it improves oxygen supply to muscles. It will raise the blood glucose levels to provide energy by converting glucogen to glucose. It will redirect blood flow. More blood is sent to muscles and away from non-essential organs like digestive system. Last, it will enhance alertness. तो आपका focus sharpen हो जाएगा और reaction time भी good होगा, right? Last is, why are some patients of diabetes treated by giving injections of insulin? See, diabetes occurs when pancreas does not produce enough insulin in type 1, okay? Or when the body becomes resistant to insulin's effects, that is in type 2, right? So insulin injections, they will help to regulate the blood sugar levels. In type 1 diabetes, like patients lack insulin entirely and they rely on injections. And in severe type 2 diabetes, when oral medications and lifestyle changes are insufficient, right? So insulin will help glucose enter the cells, it lowers blood sugar levels and prevents complications like kidney damage and nerve issues, right? So here is a summary of the points covered in the chapter. Control and coordination, these are the functions of the nervous system and hormones in our bodies. Responses of the nervous system, they can be classified as reflex action, voluntary action, and involuntary action. Nervous system uses electrical impulses to transmit messages. Nervous system gets information from our sense organs and acts through our muscles. Chemical coordination can be seen in both plants and animals. Hormones produced in one part of an organism, they move to another part to achieve the desired effect, right? And a feedback mechanism regulates the action of the hormones, right? So here come the exercise questions. Here are some objective questions. First is, which of the following is the plant hormone? ठीक है, इसमें से हम check कर सकते हैं. Plant hormone कौन सा है इसमें? Cytokinin. ठीक है, this is a plant hormone. You can identify. Second is, the gap between two neurons is called, क्या कहते हैं gap को? Synapse. ठीक है, synapse is the gap between two neurons, correct. Third is the brain is responsible for thinking, regulating heartbeat, balancing the body. So all of the above. ठीक है, तीनों के लिए ही responsible होता है brain, right? So D is the correct option. So here comes the fourth question. It says like what is the function of receptors in our body? Think of situations where receptors do not work properly. What problems are likely to arise? See, receptors are specialized cells or nerve endings that detect stimuli. ठीक है, जैसे light, sound, heat, pressure, chemicals. Okay, and they send signals to the brain or spinal cord for processing. ठीक है, ये तो function है. And problems क्या हो सकती है, जैसे सी problems like vision impairment, hearing loss, numbness, loss of balance, these can occur. ठीक है, कैसे होगी, जैसे vision impairment कब होगी? If there is damage to photoreceptors in the eyes, this can lead to blindness or poor vision. ठीक है, like damage to auditory receptors in the ears, it can cause deafness. Dysfunction of touch receptors, it can lead to loss of sensation, numbness हो जाती है जिससे. ठीक है, और loss of balance जैसे inner ear में impaired receptors, these can cause dizziness or difficulty in maintaining balance. ठीक है, so proper functioning is necessary for these. Fifth question is draw the structure of a neuron and explain its function. Diagram we have already discussed, right? You can take it from there. So we will discuss the functions. See, dendrites. Dendrites क्या करते हैं? They receive signals from other neurons or sensory receptors. Cell body क्या करेगी? It processes the incoming signals and maintains the neuron health. Axon will transmit the electrical impulses to other neurons or effectors. Myelin sheath, it will insulate the axon and speeds up impulse transmission. Axon terminals, they will pass signals to other neurons or muscles via synapses. ये सारे इसके functions होते हैं. Sixth one is how does phototropism occur in plants? So phototropism is the growth of a plant in response to light. Auxins accumulate on the shaded side of the plant. ठीक है, cells on the shaded side they elongate more than those in the lighted side. ठीक है, this causes the plant to bend towards the light source, right? Seventh question is which signals will get disrupted in case of a spinal cord injury? So sensory signals, okay, information from sense organs will not reach the brain. Okay, second is motor signals, commands from brain to muscles may be blocked, it can cause paralysis. And reflex actions which are controlled by spinal cord, these may be affected depending on the injury location, right? Now eighth question is how does chemical coordination occur in plants? So phytohormones use करते हैं plants for chemical coordination, right? जैसे auxins हैं, auxins they promote cell elongation and phototropism, right? Gibberellins they stimulate stem growth and seed germination. Cytokinins they promote cell division and they delay aging. Then abscisic acid it induces dormancy and helps the plant respond to stress. And ethylene will promote fruit ripening, right? So this completes these questions. So here's the ninth question. What is the need for a system of control and coordination in an organism? Okay, we will do 4 points for this. So the first point is to ensure proper functioning of body parts in response to internal and external stimuli. Second is to regulate essential processes like movement, growth, and hemostasis. Third is to maintain balance and coordination between different systems of the body. And last is to adapt to environmental changes. So here comes the question number 10. How are involuntary actions and reflex actions different from each other? Right? So involuntary actions, they are controlled by brainstem or other automatic pathways, and reflex actions, they are controlled primarily by the spinal cord. Involuntary actions, they are slow and continuous, like digestion or heartbeat, right? Reflex actions, they are fast and immediate, like withdrawing from a hot surface, okay? Involuntary actions, they are often vital for survival, but they are not immediate. Okay. Reflex actions, they are quick response to protect the body from harm. 11th question is compare and contrast nervous and hormonal mechanisms for control and coordination in animals. Okay. So अगर कभी भी comparison का question आता है और आप tabular form में लिखते हो, you get very good marks using this, right? So nervous mechanism and hormonal mechanism we compare using different aspects. Okay. Nature. So nervous में mechanism में होता है electrical impulses और hormonal में hormones होते हैं which are chemical signals. Speed is fast here, slow here. Short lived effects होते हैं इसके long lasting effects होते हैं. Acts on specific target cells, it may affect multiple organs. Example है reflex action or in growth regulation by oxygen. So here's the last question of the chapter. What is the difference between the manner in which movement takes place in a sensitive plant and the movement in our legs, right? So, like sensitive plant like Mimosa pudica, movement is due to changes in turgor pressure. It is involuntary and non-directional nastic movement, and it does not involve a nervous system, right? Then movement in our legs, it's due to contraction and relaxation of muscles. It can be voluntary or reflexive and controlled by the nervous system. So this presents the difference between the two. So this completes the chapter. If you have not subscribed the channel yet, you can like subscribe, learn with Nisha ji, and stay tuned for regular updates for improving your score overall in the science subject. Thanks for watching.